Okay, I'm live. I'm live for the second time today because I got my hair done and I was just feeling myself, so I decided to do another topic. But I've been wanting to do this topic for a while now, so let's just get straight into it. We're going to talk about your emotions and we're going to talk about the scale of consciousness. So, first things first. Hi, welcome in. If you are new to this channel, we talk about wisdom, mental warfare, and practical reasoning. This is Athena's channel. First thing that I want to say is I like to talk about a lot of different authors, and for this specific video, we're going to talk about David Hawkins. He is an author who has spent years, he's much more than an author, but he has created a book and he has spent years researching this. I'm not sure if YouTube allows this information, because I've heard in the past that they will delete these videos. So we'll see how long this stays up. It's very exciting. Also, guys, okay, so my hair is it's pretty long. Well, it's pretty long, but I got it cut. And she took quite a bit off, but it's exciting. Okay. Let's get straight into it. I also will be answering questions at the very end if you have any questions about this, but let me just get straight to it. Okay, this right here is the scale of consciousness. I'm trying to get the glare out of the way. It's the scale of consciousness. And you see how, the first thing that I want to say is that you see how it starts at the bottom and then goes to the very top, right? So I want you to take notice of how narrow it is. It's very narrow at the very bottom. It's a triangle, of course, we can see that. It's very narrow at the bottom, and then at the top, it gets bigger. So this scale of consciousness not only has measurements of frequency, colors, but it also is a really good, accurate representation of how these emotions are serving you. So, consciousness, and when you are in higher states of being, and each state is represented in this vibrational chart, okay? I'm not sure if you guys can read it, but I'll explain it. So at 20, there's shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, inner light, inner wisdom, inner love, oneness, presence, non-duality, awareness, the great void, divine grace and love union, supra-casual truth, and full consciousness. So at 20 is shame, that's at the very lowest frequency. And then at the very top is the 1,000 mark, which is full consciousness. We experience that when we're not here, but sometimes you can experience it when you're here on earth, right? That's what we have, those really big examples of Jesus and Buddha, all these different examples of people that walked this earth, and they were on very, very super high frequencies of consciousness. So I was going back to the triangle and how it is shaped right here, the very point being at the bottom, because when you're in shame, so that's at level 20, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, I can't even see it on here. When you're at 20, that means that you are limited in your perception, okay? Why is this important? Because when you are at a different frequency, when you are resonating at a different emotion, you have the ability to perceive things in a different way. So if you are resonating at shame and you are feeling very guilty about something, if you feel shameful about a certain experience, you can only perceive a certain aspect of that experience, right? And it's very limited. The more that you expand, the more that you include. So expansion is a process of inclusion, and it's the other way around when you work down the ladder. the more that you say no, the more that you exclude something, the more narrow-minded and the more limits you place on yourself. This is very important because sometimes people think that it has to come to you, whatever your manifestation is, that your manifestation needs to come in a certain way and it needs to happen the way that your logical mind is thinking, right? But it goes against this model that we see in front of us, that the more you perceive on a higher scale, the more that you are at, let's say, even if you're at a neutral state, which is resonating around the green mark, you're at a neutral state, you have the ability to perceive more options and perceive more circumstances in a better way. Let me use an example because this is really eye-opening. I have clients that will manifest exactly what they want. They're manifesting what they want, their desires. But because they have a lot of fear, or because they are resonating in a certain frequency and in a constant emotional state of fear, then they are only perceiving that manifestation in a fearful way. What is so interesting about this is you can stay in a state and still manifest what you want. You can manifest anything that you want. It's just how you are perceiving it and how you are receiving it. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because we want to start talking about time. Time is non-linear, meaning that something can happen instantly, and then something else that you want to manifest, it could happen at a very slow rate. It could happen over a certain time. It could happen over like years or a decade, whatever you want, whatever time limit you want to put on it. So let's say we have a desire and we want to manifest it instantly. Well, usually instant manifestations will happen in a very neutral, satisfied vibration when you think on that thing. If you think on that thing and it's not really a big deal to you, you'll notice this in your life. And I invite you to think of times where things have just manifested and it's not really a big deal. It's usually when you're resonating in neutrality. Now, some people, they're like in grief and guilt, they cry, which crying is not a bad emotion. Crying, if you have a certain perspective on dealing with emotions, such as crying or feeling down, that can represent you literally, physically washing away beliefs that don't serve you anymore. So that's what I've adopted. If you would like to adopt that as well, whenever I'm crying or I feel really low, that's just me washing the disbelief away and coming to a better conclusion than where I was previously. So I hope that helps anybody who's watching. But when you start getting to these higher frequencies, then that's when you start getting into the more instant manifestations. What I love about this model and about what David Hawkins has described is someone who is resonating in this frequency, this self-realization. Oh, and then I'll explain this. So there's self-realization at the very top, and then in the middle you have self-empowerment, and then at the bottom you have the victim abuser consciousness. You can see this in your life when you're feeling very down about yourself. You will have that victim mentality. You'll feel powerless. You won't feel like you're able to accomplish your goals. And then once you rise up, then you have more of the self-empowerment. You have more of the courage. You have more of this power in you to actually want to go towards your goals. And then self-realization is the highest form, where you realize who you are. And it's interesting because right where the purple is, right where this purple color is, it says, I am presence. And in each of these dimensions, so right here with the yellow, this is the third dimension, fourth dimension, new humanity consciousness, fifth dimension, and then I am presence. I am presence. That is literally describing what Neville Goddard has been writing in his books. which is why I think this live was deleted, but I've explained in past videos how I'll read either the Bible or I'll read Neville Goddard's work, and things will instantly manifest for me. And it's because that book vibrates at a certain frequency, and all of the information that he's giving you will automatically give you the results that you're wanting, and you won't need to actually focus on the manifestation itself. Also, I saw that there was a comment, but I didn't get to read all of it, so sorry. But if you want to write it again, then I'll view it and I'll respond to it. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this scale because it's pretty accurate. And I also wanted to talk about just vibration in general, because I've noticed in the manifestation community, the idea of affirmations are a big thing. And I think affirmations are very useful when you're wanting to apply something or change your train of thought towards a certain aspect or a certain topic of your life. What I've found really interesting is there's different frequencies of music, right? So everything contains everything in this world has a resonance. It resonates on a certain vibrational level. It has a measurement. If your emotions have a resonance, then everything else in life does as well. It's the law of vibration. So if everything is resonating at a certain frequency, then you can start to look at different music that you're listening to. What type of music are you resonating with? I've noticed for me, if you've ever looked into 528 hertz, or I think there's 432 hertz, there's different music, instrumental, they're not saying anything, but it'll put you in a state of what this map is talking about. It will raise your frequency. So I just wanted to, I just wrote, hey, I think I saw you last week at your job in Malibu. I was going to say hi, but you looked busy. Enjoy your videos. Oh, you can always say hi. Yeah, you can always say hi. I love being in Malibu and I'm there all the time. So I would love that if you just said hi. Yeah, that's really cool. Close, it's a small world, right? But anyway, so what I found very interesting is that you can, it's not just affirmations, right? We've seen time and time again that there's different things that will still bring us to the vibration that we're wanting. If that looks to you like doing visualizations, if that looks like listening to music that pleases you, if that looks like, another thing would be doing things that excite you. For me, that looks like dancing, acting, talking to people, making videos. That's my highest form of excitement right now, in this present moment. So that's putting me automatically in a vibration that resonates with a certain level. And when that happens, then more things that are in, that's my cat. The door doesn't just open randomly. She's going through the door. It's not just one thing. It's all of those things that resonate in that frequency. It will be brought to you. It's just that you're in the perception. You're in the perception of receiving it. Manifestation, by definition, is not bringing something to you that you don't have. Manifestation is to allow you to perceive what is already in existence that wasn't there originally. So it's just bringing the invisible into the visible. It's not that it doesn't exist. It just means that it's invisible right now. It's just your perception. This is the whole point of the video. It is only your perception. Even obstacles or challenges, things that may seem like a struggle to you, that is only a perception. And you'll notice that the higher and higher you raise on this scale, the less you will see even the obstacle or the challenge as such. You won't see it as an obstacle anymore. It'll just seem like part of the process to get you there. And then, ironically enough, the more and more and more you rise up to that level, the less you will even experience struggle or any type of imbalance. It'll just be very smooth sailing, very positive synchronicity. It'll be really interesting and magical. So I hope that this has been informative for you guys. It's one of my favorite things to look at because these people have spent a lot of time researching and getting into measurements of sound. This is all mathematical, this is formulaic. And even these colors too, right? It's very interesting. Like if you're looking at this and you have a favorite color, whatever your favorite color is, it says a lot about you and where you resonate. I find that very interesting. I was listening to Bashar the other day and he was talking about how purple is, so it's interesting because I was listening to Bashar the other day. He was talking about how the highest frequency or the highest color that we can see on the scale is purple, right? And then the lowest is red. And my favorite color is Bordeaux, which is a mix of purple and red. And it's always been that color. How interesting. So yeah, I don't know what that means. I have not assigned any meaning to that yet, but if you guys have any meaning, then definitely let me know. So that's all I have for this video. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.